Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about what got revealed earlier today. It's Marvel Legends HasLab, finally. Not a giant robot, not a gigantic figure, and you know they probably could have made a bunch more, but they're giving us a vehicle. So I'm going to start off by saying, okay, but is it a HasLab? I mean, the vehicle is about this big. I'm guessing like the Black Series had that snow speeder that was about this big. And I guess, yeah, you know what, maybe they did want to push it out as a HasLab because they didn't want to crank out a whole bunch of them and ship them out to different retailers and have them go on clearance and lower prices, kind of like that snow speeder did. Now, that snow speeder, I think, was about 125 bucks when they started it. This HasLab is $350. And the thing is, there is already some controversy over the price point. Some people are saying it's worth it, some people are saying it's not worth it. Now, if they get the backing in the next couple of days or whatever, the early bird, you're gonna get two figures and the car. And they said during the promotion that there is gonna be nothing else for the car. That's it. All the accessories for the car, it is complete. So it's the car, it's got the flaming wheels, it's got normal wheels, it's got a full decked out interior, it's got multiple LED lights, the gear shifter turns, the steering wheel turns. I was a little bit disappointed that when they popped the trunk open, it just looks like a square. I was kind of hoping maybe they were going to do the sidewalls with like the wheel wells and that kind of stuff in there, so it actually looked like a trunk instead of having just like the rectangle. But that's probably so you can throw some accessories in there and you know they won't get lost. So at Comic-Con, we knew it was Ghost Rider when they announced it at their panel, but they did hide some tools in some of the display cases to try to give people more hints. So I think a lot of people figured out that it was going to be Robbie Reyes and the Engine of Vengeance, or what I like to call it, the Hell Charger. And you know what? The car looks really, really, really cool. And it would be super cool just to have it in your collection. And even if you didn't like always use it with the Ghost Rider, you could put other figures in it, like the G.I. Joe Classifieds, if you were trying to take a picture or something like that. It just looks on fire, literally, because of the flaming wheels and the LED lights. But anyways, it looks fantastic. I think the big controversy for everybody is going to be the price point. Is it set too high? Should that vehicle have just been released to retail for like maybe 150 bucks or something like that? I think a lot of people might say yes, right? But then you got to look at like the past when they've released these like X-Wings or Snow Speeders. I know those are a different brand, but didn't they just sit on the shelves and end up having to get clearanced and stuff like that, and maybe you couldn't find them and stuff like that, right? So if we look at what G.I. Joe did with their HISS tank, and we look at what Marvel Legends is doing with this Engine of Vengeance, I think they're very similar in the way they are. And yeah, you know what, this is a little bit more expensive than the HISS tank, but the HISS tank really only had what, the one LED light and stuff like that, and you got additional stuff on the tiers. You're not going to get those here, so that car is pretty much complete and does look really cool. Now I will say this, the two figures that we know we're going to get, because I'm pretty sure it's going to get backed, it's all, at the time I'm filming this, it's like at 2,700 backers. That's a third of the way to 9,000, so pretty sure it's going to get there. So we're probably going to get the regular Robbie Reyes, which is fine, and we're going to have those two figures. And then they announced that the other tiers are basically going to be action figures, right, of the demonic kind, and maybe not so much tied to Ghost Rider, but just, you know, of that type. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys wonder and guess and try to figure out what they are. But I want to know, do you think they should have just announced all the tiers right away and just drove up the numbers just to see if we can get to all of those figures? Do you think that that is overpriced? I think some people do. And do you think that, like, if they would have released this car in this state at retail with all its packings and maybe the Ghost Rider, would a $200 price point have made you buy it? I'm just curious to find out if you got that car with all the inner workings and the one figure, would you have paid up to $200? Because if you would, I think this is a really good deal, because you're gonna get probably at least 4 more figures, which are gonna be exclusives, and those can be very valuable. They're definitely gonna be, at the current price points, another $100 worth of figures. So I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, when I'm thinking about the HISS tank and thinking about this and thinking about how they just keep running right into each other, this car is super cool and I definitely want it. I'm not all in yet, and it has nothing to do with the tiers or the price point or anything like that. It has to do with the fact that, like, I don't know how many of these HasLabs I want to go 100% in on. Now, this car is super cool. I like everything they did, but I watched that live stream back when I got home, and I'm wondering, did you guys notice that they didn't seem too enthused about it? I mean, I think they were reading off of a script, and everybody seemed kind of like tired and just like, why are we doing this? And then it just seemed a lot of the conversation was a little bit forced between them. And I'm wondering if, like, maybe they weren't 100% believing in the HasLab. Tell me what you think after watching this video about that, and whether or not you're all in. I know some people left messages on my much shorter 45-second video that I put up earlier, and I appreciate that. I just wanted to throw this out there because, you know what? How can a week go by without one of my off-the-wall rants? Anyways, everybody, have a fantastic day.